we've seen the family grow away from Milton. Are you surprised how big the Lions have become in terms of international crime? Because we've been told by the Spanish police, and particularly that they see Lions as a major organised crime group on a European level, and they've spoke quite extensively about that. Are you surprised by that?
Well, I heard many years ago, like, they were networking after Stephen went to Spain, and were moved in the thingies of, that circle, the Kinahans and all that. And I found it hard to believe, because I'm saying Edward Senior, and then we started realising that it was Edward Junior, not Edward Junior, Stephen Junior. And then I started saying, oh, they've got expectations of moving up the ladder. But never to the extent I thought that the Spanish police would describe them as that, like, one of Europe's.
Which they have done, haven't they?
Well, it looks that way, like, and obviously their network, when you read something about Turkey and all these places, like, Dubai, moving out to Indonesia, So yeah, but it was a bit of a surprise, but I'm not surprised in the element of, if you don't do something, things have got a tendency to grow, and just grow wild and just get out of control. And that's what's happened here.
The Lions gang has been described by the Spanish police as having been smashed. Do you believe that, or will there be people willing and able to fill that vacuum, or do you think that the Lions have ended as a force and no longer a force as an organised crime group, or?
I can only go on my own experience and people I know who have been taken out and put in prison. I mean, for example, we'll just call him the Iceman. You'll know who I'm speaking about. Iceman's supposed to be out of operation. I mean, they're still running. They're still operating, even though they get, 20 odd years in prison. And think, prison is not the answer to cutting the head off a snake. You've got to dismantle right in there and say, no, this is unacceptable. This is, zero tolerance. We're not having it, no matter who takes over. Now, whilst it might be a personal thing, but from my experience, as I said to you, Norman, there's people lying in prison. They're still earning millions of pounds a year. So I don't know if it's the end of it. I'd hope it would be, because for my own personal interests here in the north of the city of Glasgow, they've been the scourge of our community. They've destroyed all the good things that's been happening in the community. And I would like to think that would be the end of them. But realistically, given what I know and the people I do know, I say to myself, is that the solution? Something's got to be done. We've got to get them off the street, but I don't know if it will be the end of them.
Right, I just wanted just two things. Do you think, though, I mean, the police have spent a lot of money in the last couple of years, Police Scotland, you investigating organised crime, and they've worked with the Spanish police to bring down, what appears to bring down the Lions, but you think it was too late? So they should have listened to you at the time, because really, you mentioned there about still being able to run from prison. It's maybe too late.
I think the connections I've made, and I think you're right. The timing of it is, imperative, man. You've got to say to yourself, right, that's there, got it out. They never done it. Why is it? It took them 25 years and they're still lacking behind. They're still sitting there denying this is not a connection with the Daniels and the Lionses and the shooting in Spain. Load of rubbish. It came, and that was the order, came to here. But anyway, the point being is, the Spanish police have been, 3 years at it? 3 years. And we've had nearly 30 years here. Intelligence going in. And that's all they've operated on. The Spanish police operated the same way, went in, got the intelligence, but the difference is they worked on it, they got evidence, and look what's happened. They got him in Bali. They've got a couple of his cronies in it, and now it's all imploding now.
But you think if they had listened to you at the time, it could be dismantled?
Absolutely, it'd been finished. Because think about it, they wouldn't have had the time and the thing, they wouldn't have given the opportunity to get in cahoots with some guys up the ladder higher than them and learn them and teach them. And that's all it's about. Steven Lyons you know, I would have said I'd have kept him at the street corner level.
But he moved to just another level.
Yeah.